The Sepoy Mutiny seems to have been spontaneous. But mutinies do not just erupt suddenly. There's always a slow burn before the explosion. So, there must have been some underlying causes that led to the mutiny. A letter from 1855, written by the Nawab of Oudh to a friend. In this letter, the Nawab is complaining about the way in which the East India Company took over the territory of Oudh. Okay, so it seems that by this point, Oudh was already being controlled by the East India Company, and Nawab was just a symbolic title. This document here is from the East India Company, which indicates that the subsidiary alliance was imposed on Oudh in 1801. After that, Oudh seems to have gradually lost its autonomy, as confirmed by this official declaration made in 1856 by the office of the Governor General, announcing that Oudh was annexed on grounds of mismanagement by the Nawab. This diary belonged to a sepoy, Sitaram Pandey, who wrote that the people of India were furious at the humiliating way power had been snatched from the Nawab of Oudh. It appears that Oudh was not a unique case, as the East India Company seems to have gradually taken away power from the Indian royals in stages. These policies must have caused a lot of displeasure among the local rulers. In fact, a few of them even appealed to the company to reconsider their policies. I have with me a copy of a letter written by a zamindar from 1823. He speaks of losing his lands to the East India Company because he could not meet their revenue demands. Seems to me that there was a lot of anger brewing in the countryside among the peasants and the zamindars. There was a lot of displeasure at the high taxes and the ruthless revenue collection practices of the company. However, the largest part of the blame for the mutiny has been assigned to the soldiers, or the sepoys. By all accounts, the mutiny started with the sepoys and was largely driven by them. Now, what could have motivated the sepoys to rebel? I looked into the employment policies of the company, and I have noticed a few causes for concern. It appears that the Indian soldiers were paid lower salaries and allowances compared to their European colleagues, and they were not offered opportunities to rise beyond a certain level or rank. I have no doubt that these policies would have angered the sepoys. The sepoys were apparently ready to go by land, but they were still severely punished for insubordination. This issue clearly seems to have persisted because the company issued an order in 1856 stating that all new employees of the company's army had to go overseas if required. This heavy-handedness must definitely have angered the sepoys. It is important to remember that many of the sepoys were peasants themselves or had family living in villages. So the anger of the peasants would have spread among the soldiers too.
If you like this video and want to watch many more amazing videos like these, like and subscribe to our channel now.